Hello random people on the internet, I'm Elsbeth and welcome to my booktube channel. In this video I'm going to be reading my least anticipated books on my TBR shelf. When I say least anticipated, it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in reading them, otherwise I wouldn't have picked them up in the first place. But these are the books that I'm less excited to read by comparison. So I'm going to show you the books that I have selected to read this week. Starting off with 3 Things About Elsie by Joanna Cannon. This book I was really interested in reading about a year ago, but I never got around to actually reading it. And then I found it on a walk, some people giving away some free books, and I thought, oh, this seems interesting, I should pick this up. So that's why it's on my TBR. Next book is Room by Emma Donoghue. Picked it up because the plot sounds intriguing. However, I wasn't intrigued enough to read it straight away, so it's still on my TBR shelf. The next book is The Queen of New Beginnings by Erika James. This has just been on my TBR for literal years and I have not read it, so I'm gonna read it now. The next book is Human Traces by Sebastian Faulks. I picked this up from a charity shop because I recognised the author who had written a book that I really enjoyed called Birdsong. However, now that I've actually read the blurb, I'm not as interested. I mean, it might surprise me, but the plot doesn't look as interesting, in my opinion. And the last book on here is Past Tense by Lee Child. I don't really know why I picked it up. I don't know what it's about. We'll see. I'm going to start with this one. I'm 100 pages in now and it's actually really interesting. It's about a woman who's been kidnapped and her son who was born in captivity, I guess, and they live in a room and she's trying to teach him that the room is not all that exists, and it's from the perspective of the son. This book is scary. I only put it down because we had to go and have tea because I was so scared for the characters. I'm not sure that people who read horror books will find this scary though. I'm just incredibly empathetic to the point where, to an extreme extent, so I'm very emotionally caught up in everything. Before I tell you my opinion on this book, I'm going to quickly tell you about my rating system. I tend to rate books out of 7, with 1 being I really did not like it, 2 being I didn't like it, 3 being I'm not a fan, 4 being it was okay, 5 being I liked it, 6 being I really liked it, and 7 being a new favourite. So I give this a 4 out of 7. I didn't rate it higher, not because of the quality of the book, but because it was very shocking and very real and very scary. It is day 2 and I'm going to start on this book now. It's not quite what I expected, but it is kind of interesting. It's from the perspective of a lady called Florence who's best friends with Elsie, and they live in like a care home, I believe. And then suddenly this new guy arrives who Florence thinks she recognises as someone else who goes by a different name to the name he was introduced as. I'm about 200 pages in now, and so far it's been fairly mundane and gossipy, so I don't know if that's going to continue or whether there's going to be a sudden change in the plot. I'm 300 pages in and it still hasn't really sped up. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but then I didn't really dislike it either, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 7, but I am going to pass it on to someone else who might enjoy it more than me. Because I've been trying to get into the habit of reading before bed, I am going to start on The Queen of New Beginnings by Erika James this evening, and yeah, I'll catch you up on it in the morning. I have not filmed any more yesterday and I only read 100 pages of the book. But it's about 2 people who move into this house called Cookie House and they start becoming friends so far. I'm 200 pages in now and it's good. I have finished the book now. I give it a 5 out of 7. So I'm not actually going to read this because I watched like 2 episodes of the series and I didn't like it. It wasn't because of the adaptation, it was just because I did not like the plot, I did not like the characters, so I feel like I won't enjoy this, it's not for me. Anyways, next book. I am about 100 pages in now. So far we are following 2 narratives. One is of someone called Thomas who is interested in the way the mind works and poetry and different things like that. And the other narrative is a couple called Sonia and Richard. He married her for her father's money, and as she knows that this will not reoccur, her position in his life is not very vital and she's dealing with that. I'm about a third of the way in. I'm really enjoying it. I really like the writing style and I'm gonna go out into the garden and read some more. I've finished this book now and I give it a 6 out of 7. That's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you again at some point for another video.